Shri Shakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My great pleasure to be here in Austin, at the ISKCON of Round Rock. This temple name is made famous by Amarendra Poo's talks. So many times I have logged in on YouTube and heard. So I was flying to Austin. I was thinking, what does Austin ring in my mind? And a small little anecdote came to my mind when I was first time coming to United States way back in 2004. Was I was a student at IIT Bombay. So Gaurav introduced me to Maharaj and told Maharaj is going to America to become a brahmachari. So Maharaj said, America जाके brahmachari नहीं बनते. And he said that no, he is going, so he can earn some money and come back soon. So that time, Radhanath Maharaj asked me, so where in America? So I said, Maharaj, Chicago. And immediately he said, Chicago is like Badrinath. You should go there to do austerities, not sense gratification. Because those times it was very much opposing going to America for devotees from Chopati. You were not so easily allowed. So when I heard the name Austin, that word austerity was ringing. And moreover, when I heard the name of the temple is based on a rock, on a rock you do austerities. So to please and think of Krishna. So on this round rock, hope we are all doing tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam vishuddham. That we are all trying to purify our existence. And I thank all the devotees for being so enthusiastic on a weekday, Monday, to come. And this particular book, Gita Sūtras, was my own need for having the Gita in understanding in the Gita in such a way that I can easily share it to a new person or a person who doesn't want to get lost in Sanskrit or terminologies. So COVID was the time when I delved into the Gita. And then somehow Krishna gave this insight that each chapter can be visualized into a unique experience, because human beings are emotional, experiential beings. We can't remember statistics, data, but when it has some meaning, then we easily remember. So, this today's topic that was given, selected by the management here is about chapter 9. And chapter 8, I have to give a brief background because before we jump into cha- the chapter 8 is a prison break story. How Yamunacharya, he has written a book called as Gita the Sangraha. And in this book, Gita the Sangraha, the entire chapter of the book, entire chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, is summarized in one verse. Super genius that to really understand what's going on in the chapter and give us the essence. So we all like, short, easy ways to have whole things. So I really liked that book, Gita the Sangraha. And in that, Yamunacharya explains chapter 8 is about three type of people who are trying to escape the prison of material world. So I named the chapter as The Great Escape. Also, in Sanskrit, it is called as, what is the chapter's name? 8 chapter name? Taraka, known as Taraka Brahma Yoga. There are different names, but this is one of the names, Taraka Brahma Yoga. So Brahma means great, Taraka means escape, get out somewhere. So here in this chapter, of course, so I made the whole thing as how does one plan a prison escape, made into something like a movie. So the last verse of this chapter you can recite. Vedeshu yajneshu tapashu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. So of these three people who are trying to break away from their material conditionings, material bondage, some only think about how can I get out from this current situation. Right now, I am in a great perplexity in this situation. If I shift to another situation, life will be better. As they say, grass is always greener on the other side. And those who are in India, they think, no, here it is greener. And those who are in Austin, they know it is hotter. And now with Trump, it is becoming even hotter. And always there will be some kind of trouble in everyone's life. Something that is disturbing our peace, our tranquility. So that is first type of people which is described, that they're trying to escape, but their understanding is that this prison is not good. The other guy, their prison is better. Someone else is living a better life. Is only as Giriraj Swami Maharaj explains that when he was not a devotee, he was very well to do family from family, and they used to enjoy the weekend. But part of his anxiety as he was having good time on the weekend, was that are my friends having a better time than me, or am I having the best use of my time? And now with social media, even if you are having nice time, you open up and you see some friend of yours is somewhere, or even if it's not friend, just Facebook just puts up posts, sometimes totally artificial intelligent driven, where the person is not real, the place is not real. When this movie Avatar had come, not Mahanarsim Avatar, but the Hollywood Avatar, many people started to feel this that planet called as Pandora is so nice. Everything is floating there, everything is lighted there, and some even wanted to die to go there and in an imaginary place. So that is first type of people who just try to escape from this earthly realm to the Swarga Loka. And Krishna explains the pros and the cons. Gita is not a commandment book. You have to do this. Gita is a menu card. LHS, RHS. For every choice, there is a price. And the second type of people are those who are trying to escape the material world only, but they don't know where to go. Like sometime, like Gaurampu says, in the year 1942, there was a whole revolution in India called as Quit India. Indians telling Britishers to leave India. Then he said in 1980 onwards, Indians started to say Quit India. So, but where to go? Sometimes people become so desperate, kahin to jana hai. Somewhere I need to go. So, Krishna explains the second class of people who try to get out of the material world, but don't know where to go. यहाँ पे नहीं रहना है बस. Like sometimes in a religion, I don't want to be with this person, but with whom you want to be? No, I don't know. And the third are those who exactly know where they want to go, to the lotus feet of Krishna, and they plan. But as this beautiful photograph shows, which story is this in the Bhagavatam? Dhruva Maharaj. Ajamila did not go back to the spiritual world immediately. He had to go to Haridwar and purify himself completely. Then he went. But this is Dhruva Maharaj. And our acharyas also explain that Gita and Bhagavad are not separate books. One is to understand that Gita is a law book and Bhagavatam is a case study book. The codes are here, the cases are in the Bhagavatam. How different sutras are applied. Another is it's a evolution. Krishna ends the Gita at Sarva Dharman Parityaja, and the Bhagavatam starts with Dharma Projita Kaitava. That now that you have given up all material conceptions of what is right, one devotee says, Krishna is saying the Sarva Dharman Parityaja, but we can also understand it as Sarva Draman Parityajya. Give up all your drama. This is needed, that is wanted. Or Prabhupada, one place in the Bhagavatam he says, to give up all one's manufactured engagements. To give up all one's manufactured engagements. सही में वो हमारा, like sometimes a kid he takes up a task of coloring something or fixing up something. Nobody has told him to do, but that he makes it as the most important thing. eating, eating, everything. So, like that, the Bhagavatam is understood as a evolution. Another is that the whole Bhagavatam and is in the Gita in nutshell. That most of the many of the verses Acharyas explain how this verse is explaining the whole story of Gajendra in one verse, or the whole story of Ajamil in one verse. And here is Dhruva. Dhruva need not have to go anywhere to get out of the world. He got a invitation. The Vishnu Dutas came themselves to take, and that's what this the concluding verse of the 8th chapter says, that you may be scholar in many things. You have memorized the entire Vedas, or an expert in yagyas, or done a lot of austerities, or given loads of charity, and you may acquire lot of punya, lot of piety, lot of prosperity because of that. But there is something which is atyeti. Atyeti means ati twice is used. That it becomes atyeti. Like in Hindi, if something is really hot, we say garam garam chai. We use words twice in Hindi. It is not there much in the English language, but in Hindi or in most of the local languages of India, that is there. So Krishna is using ati. That there is, if you practice what I am going to speak, there is something which is going to give you the benefit of all this, but it is only actually going to take the devotee to the param sthanam, to the ultimate abode, which the devotee is no searching, but we cannot directly go. But Krishna is so merciful that those who serve him with love, with bhakti, they are called upon. Bhaktin Thakur used to always say this: do not try to see Krishna, but try to serve Krishna in such a way. Please Krishna that he wants to see you. Jayananda Prabhu is a personification of this. That when Prabhupada used to go to San Francisco, he was so busy in arranging things, organizing things, that Jayananda Prabhu literally would not come to see Prabhupada. Then understanding how busy he is to arrange others for others for the entire event, Prabhupada used to call Jayananda. And once Prabhupada wants to meet you, then immediately, like even for sometimes our spiritual masters, if you want to go and meet them, it's not possible. But if the call comes, you come, then nobody can stop you because the invitation has come from there. So Krishna calls his devotees those who have made pleasing him and serving him is their topmost priority. And this treasure, when one has, then Krishna wants the devotee back. So therefore the chapter 9 is termed as the hidden treasure or the treasure hunt. You all play treasure hunt? And so the treasure is there, but it is hidden. The love of Krishna, which is the true treasure, the bhakti, is there in everyone's heart. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunoi Shravanaja Shuddha Chitte Karoya Uday. That love for Krishna, love for everyone is there, but now it is lost, it is hidden, and we don't know how to revive it. There are two chapters in the Gita, two themes in the Gita, which kind of repeat themselves. One is karma, another is bhakti. The third chapter, what is the name of third chapter? Karma Yoga. What is the fifth chapter name? Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, which is basically the same. And in Sanskrit, if you see, one is called as Karma Yoga, another is called as Karma Sannyasa Yoga. And and if you see the concepts that Krishna is speaking, it's almost same, repetitive. But the difference is that in fifth chapter, the addition of fourth chapter is there. And an example is given that when you take bath, you put water first. You wet yourself. And then you put soap. And once you put soap, again you put water. So initially you showered, later also you showered. But what is the difference? The difference is the soap element, the purifying element. So Jnanagni Dagda Sarva Karmani. That transcendental knowledge, when we approach a spiritual master and learn from him, and under his guidance, when we perform our activities, then that same Karma Yoga becomes Karma Sannyasa Yoga. It becomes action in Krishna consciousness. It is not just regular action. So when karma with jnana, then that is the fifth chapter. Same happens with bhakti. In seventh chapter, Krishna speaks about bhakti. Mahatmanastu maam partha daivim prakritim ashrita. Bhajan tananya manaso gnatva bhutadim avyayam. And we have a very scientific presentation that why bhakti should be done. How he is the source of everything. Mamayvamso jiva loke, all those verses. Again, chapter 9 is again bhakti. But the difference is in chapter 8. Which category of bhakti are you doing? Are you doing karma mishra bhakti, which is the initial? You're just trying to do bhakti to improve your material life, which Krishna doesn't deny, but it is not the highest. Then there is Jnana Mishra Bhakti, which is the impersonalist. They are trying to go to the impersonal Brahmajyoti. And then there is Shuddha Bhakti or Prema Bhakti, where they are truly trying to reach Bhagavan, reach Goloka Krishna. And they go till the most essential treasure of that love for Krishna. And Krishna in this chapter, he explains that if you want to reach the summit, the most wonderful treasure of Krishna Prem, which is there in our hearts, then we need to be understanding this chapter properly. Of course, chapter 7, I term it as energy. So, in this visualization of treasure hunt, the first 3 verses is who is eligible to participate in this expedition, in this great, uh, hunt for Krishna Bhakti, for Krishna Prem, who is eligible, who can actually access this treasure. And Krishna gives two qualifications. And if we truly want to grow in our spiritual life, want to grow in our depth, then these two are very essential. Many times I've seen that devotees think Gita is basics, and then we try to swim in the ocean of Bhagavatam, which is very nice, but without the concepts of the Gita properly in place, the Bhagavatam becomes nice, wonderful stories of these devotees, which is so very purifying. But the step by step structure that Krishna has given in the Gita, that we kind of miss out. So the attitude for apex. If you want to find this treasure, then what is the attitude that we need to carry? What is the mindset? And Krishna says, Anasuyave. That if you want Shuddha Bhakti, if you want to please Krishna, performing pure devotional service, you have to be non-envious. And Krishna mentions this in the first verse, that, O Arjuna, I am speaking to you this most confidential knowledge. There are three levels of confidentiality in the Gita. One confidential knowledge is those who are Bhakti Shastri. What is the first level of confidential knowledge? Is, yes, concept of soul. That we are not the body, we are the eternal spirit soul. Second confidential knowledge, level of confidential knowledge, is that there is a super soul. That Krishna, God is there. You are not the all in all. Krishna is the. And the third confidential knowledge is that the soul and super soul have a very loving relationship. They are not Chatis ka kakada. They are not having a very inimical, or say sometimes the relationship between teenagers and parents, not like that. Very loving, like a child under 5 years old, how the child relationship, that kind of relationship. So to achieve that, the most confidential knowledge, Krishna says the eligibility to Arjuna and to all of us is that we have to be non-envious, which is one of the biggest anarthas that we have to get purified with. And Bhagavatam also says this. The Bhagavatam is relishable, is fully there for dharma projita kaitava atra paramo nirmatsaranam sata. जो निर्मत्सर है, those who are not envious. And what is this? When these words are used, most of the times we are in the mode of denial. No, Pauji, I don't have envy. But why is he always given the garland to put on Maharaj? I am not envious. So many a times in bhakti, if we are in denial mode, the difference that is between the advanced devotees and neophytes like us is that we don't even we understand our fallen condition. And asuya and anasuya, there is no jealousy. Once someone said that there are only two people who know everything about me. One is God, another is my neighbors. may not be fully function applicable in US because we don't know anything about our neighbors. But this is perfectly valid in India, where everybody is trying to know बगल के घर में क्या चल रहा है, what is happening in the other house. And Krishna says that once you understand this and live by this non-enviousness, then it frees you from all kinds of inauspiciousness. And no, this envy comes in not just in the regular circumstances, but also in devotee circles. That I won't go too much into detail because we need to cover a lot of things. And this enviousness is actually insecure admiration. There is admiration, but it is coupled with our own insecurity. So we are not truly able to glorify the other person. And this is one of the difficult impurities to purify with. But it is this quality of envy which is the beginning of our fall to the material life. Krishna says envy is the cause of all kinds of inauspiciousness. Even today, people are so much in comparison syndrome that they are looking at others instead of looking at their own plate, what they have. They're looking at others and they become miserable. I was telling the other day that Krishna says this world is dukhalay because this world is dekhalay. दूसरों को देख देख के हम दुखी होते हैं. अरे इसके पास वो है, इसके पास ये है, मेरे पास नहीं है. And this constantly having outward vision, what others have, instead of looking at what I have, what can I offer Krishna, is important for us. And even in the biblical tradition, we have the snake of envy that leads to sense gratification. And also you must be knowing this story of what is the difference between heaven and hell. That in heaven and hell, the nectar is there, the food is there, but the spoon is too big. And in heaven or in spiritual circles, they help each other. No, they help each other to advance, to support. It's said that in animal societies, there are two types of animals. One, when another species is in trouble, all other species come together to help it. And another type of animals are there that when some species is in trouble, then all others come together to kill that species, to kill that bird, that animal, because they think one weak animal is going to weaken us entirely. And crow stands an example for that. And you must see it in India also. If a crow is sick, it is hurt, all other crows will come and poke nose and kill that crow. And then there is dolphins. Whenever a dolphin is sick, all the dolphins surround that dolphin so that there is no attack and that the dolphin can recover. So a society where we are cooperating with others, helping others, not competing, not trying to pull them down. That is spiritual realm, heavenly realm. But in the hell, each one is trying to grab themselves the nectar And they're trying to, as you see, they're trying to take the nectar and put for themselves, but the spoon is too big. And that is a personification of hell, where each one is trying to fend themselves. And even according to psychology, one of the biggest causes of depression is self obsession. They're always thinking about me, me, me. Asanam me, vasanam me, bandhu jaya me. That verse is Chanak. That in eating we are thinking whatever item is made today should be of my liking. Vasanam me. Whatever clothes I have should make me the star of the show. Bandhu jayao me. And even among the relatives, my family should be the most prosperous or most intelligent. And iti me. And saying like this, me, kala vriko. And when the goat is saying me, then the kala vrika, the fox of time comes and it devours us. We have Anasuya Devi, who was feeding the three murtis, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and later Dattatreya and Durvasa, and who else? The other one. They were three were born from Anasuya Devi. And Anasuya, what is the meaning of the word? Anasuya, where there is no envy. She doesn't have any envy. And when Anasuya combines with Atri means beyond three modes. So we are so when when the devotee is beyond three modes and when there is no envy, then all auspiciousness, all divine qualities, beings, are pleased with us. And Prabhupada truly wanted a society without envy. And if there is envy amongst devotees, that is going to spoil. There is nobody is big or small. Every devotee that is sincerely serving is pleasing Krishna. And therefore, we need to understand that there is no need for insecurity in spiritual life. All we need to do is do our best and not have any kind of that I need to become prominent. I need to be in the limelight. If Krishna wants, it will happen. But whatever skills Krishna has given us, let us try to fulfill that and be happy with looking at devotees. Once I heard Radhanath Maharaj was saying, Krishna appreciates appreciation, Krishna condemns condemnation. If you condemn a devotee, Krishna condemns you. If you appreciate a devotee, Krishna appreciates you. He may not have pleased Krishna so much as the devotee who is appreciating the devotee who is pleasing Krishna. So therefore, without this quality of trying to imbibe this quality, will not get entrance into chapter 9, into pure devotional service. Access is denied. There is no vacancy. No vacancy, if you take the first two words, it is NV. N and V. So, as soon as there is NV, spiritual growth is stunted, no matter how high we may have grown. And we'll be tested again and again. And then Krishna, once he gives us the attitude, what is the attitude that needs, he also explains what is the benefit or the greatness of this treasure that I am giving you. Because we also need to have great appreciation for what we are getting. Because if that appreciation is not there, that awareness is not there, कि हमको क्या मिलने वाला है? So Krishna gives the Nava Vidya, or the 9 benefits of practicing bhakti, or 9 glories of bhakti. And this chapter is 9, and there are so many nines in this chapter. Me being from IIT Bombay, when I was studying this all through, I discovered that in chapter 8, there are a lot of eights come. 8 steps that a Brahmavadi does. 8 steps that a no one who wants to go to Swarga does. So even in this Raja Vidya, the first is that this Vidya, Krishna says, is the king. And why Krishna uses this word Raja? Because everybody wants to be acquire the topmost that is possible. Another is that this knowledge is meant for the kings. We are not the kings, so is it not meant for us? This knowledge is meant for the kings because who is a king? One who is trying to take care of what he has been given. That person is a king. And another is that the mind is called as the Raja of the senses, the king of the controller of the senses. And therefore, the only way to control the mind is the path of bhakti. No other process can truly control the mind. Just 2 days back, we celebrated the passing away of Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was tested by Maya, by this prostitute, and but because he was so absorbed in chanting Hare Krishna that he was not, no, he didn't get tempted. And Prabhupada there mentions that Vishwamitra Muni, he was doing tapasya, but twice he failed. Once by lust, another time by anger. First time he heard the ankle bells of this Apsara and he got deviated. And second time he got angry on Apsara. That why did you come to disturb me? Again, both lust and anger both are detrimental. If a student, if he wants to focus on his studies, he cannot be angry, nor can he be lusty, because he needs to be focused on that. So that's why Raja is used. Of course, for this Raja only so many meanings are given. It is the most Guhya. Now this particular verse, one Acharya explains, this verse is partially hinting at Krishna's butter stealing pastimes. Because the gopis used to keep the butter in a very secret place. Because love for Krishna is so pure, so sacred, so komal, it cannot be exposed. Like true love, like nowadays it has become very common. If you love somebody, you go and say, I love you. But you can, like many movies try to show that. There's so much no hesitation, how can I express it? But love is shown through our actions. It is not a sentiment that is just exposed. Once one of our devotees, Shishastakam Prabhu, he was traveling here or somewhere, I think in UK. And right in front of his car, there was another car in which a couple was kissing, smooching, and which is called as PDA, public display of affection. Very nice name they give, PDA. And then, after a while, in next signal, they were fighting with each other. Literally fighting with each other. Then he said that is also PDA, public display of anger. So this world, no, love is so superficial. अभी प्रेम हो जाता है और तभी, no, immediately, if terms don't match, then there is separation. But the love that the gopis carried for Krishna, it was so secret, and they manifested it in the form of their churning of butter. Because love has to be translated into service. Why are so many Srila Prabhupada disciples, although in their old age, no, working so hard, traveling so many places, because they love Prabhupada so much, and they're manifesting that love in the form of service. So these gopis were churning butter, and they, they used to keep it as Rajaguyam, top, ऊपर लगाते थे, in the top of, in a hidden place, top. Rajavidya Rajaguyam Pavitram, but Krishna knowing that is the most purest of all. And Uttamam. Tama means darkness, and but his bodily effulgence is so bright that when he used to go even to a dark place, Krishna's joy is to expose the love of his devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to show how much his devotees love him. That is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Pavitra Midavuttamam. So that way, of course, I can't go to total detail. Pavitram, Uttamam, Pratyaksha, Dharmam, Susukam Kartum Avyayam. So the path of bhakti begins by hearing, because Krishna is telling you hear, Tat Shrunu. And once we hear about Krishna consciousness, how bhakti is helpful for our life, otherwise, Ayaram Gayaram. We are living our life but without any purpose. Just maintaining life, maintaining no status quo, life is going on, death will come, again we start another life. And in this way, Punarapi Mararam, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Janani Jatare Shayanam. But a devotee, when he hears, then he also observes. Okay, yes, I need to change my life. He observes others, how they are becoming happy by path of bhakti. Then he starts to goes to the level of practicing. First is hearing. Usually people they come and hear, and next is they observe कि यहाँ पे लोग कैसे हैं. Because philosophy may be some nice, but if the people are not nice. This story is told that once a man had gone to a church to pray, and suddenly his mobile rang, and everybody looked at him with great anger. Don't you know to switch off the mobile when you come to pray? So he begged apology, and then he went. And in the evening, he went to a bar. And as he was taking his glass of wine, it slipped from his hand and it fell, broke into pieces. And everybody around him started giving him sympathy. Don't worry, it happens. And the bartender also saying, sir, don't worry, we'll clean it up. From our side, please have this extra from us. So where will you go next time? We'll go to the bar, I will go to the... So sometimes there is so much judgment amongst devotees, amongst people who follow religion. We judge others about their attire or about their level of practice. And that judgmental mentality is one of the biggest reasons why people don't stay with devotees. But where People like to stay where they get acceptance. And Krishna shows that acceptance. He is accepting anyone and everyone. That doesn't matter in the 12th chapter. Whichever level you are, yes, you do whatever is in your capacity. And Prabhupada also, no, because he had that acceptance, people wanted to do something to please him and improve. So therefore, we know, uh, we also say this many times that what spiritual master speaks on the Vyasasana is what he wants to tell the disciples. What he tells you in person if you go with a problem is compassion and not forcing you to do something that is no of higher standard than what you can take. Like one devotee, Prabhupada disciple, he wrote to Prabhupada that Prabhupada, I want to get separated from my wife. Prabhupada said, okay. Then the other devotee, Prabhupada, yesterday only you spoke so much about no divorce and this in the class. And Prabhupada said, he is not ready to hear. He already knows what I spoke in the class. But he wants no some kind of acceptance. And if I deny him, then he will first of all he will not follow. If I say no, he will not continue that marriage. Another is that he will do even more, get into more trouble because now he has done Guru Aparat. So therefore, no, I did not tell him anything. So say to or spiritual, if you go and say, Maharaj, I can only chant 4 rounds, is it okay? Will he say no? You say okay. Of course, not for Diksha yeah, qualification. So, like that, we need to have this acceptance amongst devotees. We need to share. And obviously, devotees do have that quality, but sometimes this judgmentality comes. So, when we observe that, then we start to practice. Yes, I also want to have this kind of intimate, loving relationship. And we experience that joy of bhakti, and then we start to share with others. So this forms this acronym called as hopes. That these are 5 levels of from hearing to sharing. And share what you have experienced. That will transform the person. If you are convinced just about prasad, speak about prasad. If you are convinced about kirtan, speak about it. Because it is actually the conviction that translates, not the that's the message. So this is the first thing. I'll also complete the other one because the one is non-enviousness. Another, Krishna says, is that being faithful, having this firm conviction in the process, in 4 things. And Krishna says, Ashraddha Dhana Purusha. If you don't have faith in the devotees, faith in the process of bhakti, faith in Krishna, then we will not be able to grow in bhakti. So, and Krishna again says, he gives that if you are faithful and if you are convinced, then you will cross over this material realm. You know this story that once there was a man who was on a trek and somehow he slipped and he was falling down. And when he was falling down, he started to pray to God, God, please save me. And somehow he got stuck to a branch. And he said, thank God, he has saved me. And but it was very cold. And then said, God, please save me. Let not this branch break, else I'll go into the trench. So that time the voice came from above, leave the branch. Said, you only gave me the branch, now you're telling me leave the branch. So that then he did not have faith. So he kept on clinging to the branch. Next day, some passers-by saw that this man was 2 feet above the ground, frozen to death. So, we need to have that faith in Krishna. Krishna will protect. And Acharyas explain, faith in four things are needed. Faith in Krishna's protection, faith that, first of all, faith that God exists and that God is our supreme lover and supreme well-wisher. Faith in Guru, that we are to have the trust that there will somebody who will understand me, who will guide me and taking his shelter. So faith in Guru, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya, Chitte Te Koriya Aikya. Faith in the process that the Guru is giving. When we chant, we need to have that faith that this is the most important thing that will take me to Krishna. Prabhupada said 99% of our chanting, of our spiritual advancement is dependent on chanting. So, many times without really building that faith in the process, it's kind of belief is there, but the understanding is not very much in the forefront. So, belief in the process, faith in the process, and faith in you. खुद में भी faith होना चाहिए कि मैं कर सकता हूँ. Because one of the biggest troubles with Maya is that she constantly discouraging us कि तुमसे नहीं होगा. It is not for you. She makes us feel hopeless. That for you to chant properly, for you to memorize a shloka or read, no. But to have the faith, if I slowly start to work on myself, Krishna will, Guru will empower me. I can do it. And that faith is created by association. Therefore, Prabhupada so much emphasized on association. That because if association is not there, then our faith will slowly get dissipated into so many other things. We'll start to have faith in all other aspects other than pure devotional service. So these are the two things to access Krishna Prem, to be having strong faith in the process, and to be non-envious. That खुद के रास्ते में लगे रहो और दूसरों के प्रति be happy. If you see others progressing nicely, be joyful. Once in Chopati, His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu, he was going abroad for preaching. And we were having our brahmachari class. And then it was announced, because those times foreign travels were very, very few. So announcement used to happen. Now, half the time, most of our senior brahmacharis are abroad only. So that it was announced. And as only as Radhanath Maharaj said, don't think Radha Gopinath Prabhu is going to preach. Understand that, be happy that on behalf of all of you, he is going to preach. So when a pujari is offering arti, the pujari is not offering arti. On behalf of all the devotees, he is offering the arti. So when a devotee is cooking, on behalf of all the devotees. So therefore, whenever we see any devotee doing anything, we should take pleasure. This is, he is doing on our behalf. So therefore, when there is that mamatva, then envy will not come. When as soon as there is paratva, I am different, he is different, then envy comes. But the more and more we see that we are all Krishna's children, Krishna has blessed different children with different things, then there is joy only. in looking at others, in seeing it. And that's basically spiritual world where every devotee is joyous uh, towards other devotees. So these are two qualities that Krishna asks us to access Krishna Prema. And I only completed the first word, A, in access, but I'll give the full acronym. Of course, full thing you can read in this chapter also. So, what is the attitude for and the faith? Why we need to have? He gives the top, why bhakti is that 9 reasons, and why Krishna is hidden. That why is bhakti is hidden, and Krishna is not very evidently present because we don't want his direct presence. Therefore, he is camouflaged. And those who know restrict God, restrict the path of bhakti into something, then there is conformism and there is collapse. But there are people who admire God in different ways. Three types of ways which I explained. So there are some who try to restrict God. Namam duskritano mooda prapad. So that those people who four ways in which they try to restrict God, conform God. God can be like this. God cannot do this. But there are people who admire Krishna is different quality as a person, as the universe, and as the different devatas. All these Krishna says are my admirers. But the most pleasing thing that I want is simple offering of bhakti. That's a simple heart. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. And those who offer this simple process of bhakti, my special devotees, pure devotees, what are all the special privileges that they get? So that is this access. But the uh, initial two steps are very important that we need to cultivate. And I like this quote by Roger Federer, which also applies for bhakti. If you want to be great at something, make it your everything. So if you make Krishna our everything, then yes, we will become dear to Krishna. So I'll stop here because it's a working day and the devotees was given 1 hour. I already exceeded little time. So tomorrow also we'll take like this chapter 10. Tomorrow we'll go on a museum, Grand Grand Central. I think this is Grand Central somewhere. So how when we go to a museum, what happens? So that is a visualization with which we'll try to understand chapter 10. Any questions? Yes, Mataji. Conformist collapse. Mogasha, Moga Karmano. Whoever tries to restrict God or no, kill God, he gets defeated. So that those verses are there. Moga Asha, Moga and Namam Duskrutano Moda, all those come. Avajananti Mamoda, Manushim Tan. Those who think that I am just a human being. I am a mortal human being. So Krishna is explaining that they are trying to conform me into their own definitions. They collapse. Their theories collapse, their plans collapse, and their no achievements collapse. So that's what Krishna is. So I had to uh, make it into this, but so that's how I put it. Those who try to conform God, they collapse. Krishna doesn't collapse. As I say, when you principles don't break. But when you try to break principles, you break. Okay. So this is just a taster. If you are kind of seeing that this is a interesting way to kind of understand, or personally, this was my own need to present to especially Western audience. Since 2015, I've been traveling here. For the Western audience, we need to have modern kind of language. So that's what I tried. But sticking to the core content that our acharyas have given. So my Yamunacharya has rescued me in this attempt by giving that book. So of course it's in Sanskrit, or Pradyumna Prabhu is translating it. But some of Sri Vaishnava Acharyas have given good commentaries on it. So reading that, I developed this. So those of you, like to see, I have some copies, can have a look at it. Else tomorrow, same place, we'll meet. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for such a wonderful session on chapter 9. So when Rishikesh Gopal Prabhu messaged me that you were coming, I had just finished your book. I picked it up